A great majority of body responses that our nervous system conducts involves reflexes. There are more than 200 reflexes in our body. Now, what are these reflexes? We have to talk about reflex action and reflex arc. Supposedly, you are sitting somewhere and someone pricks a pin in your arm. What do? You don't know what to do. Simply your arm, without any conscious control of the brain, moves like this. Like there is a unconscious reaction that is certain that you are going to move your arm like this. You are not going to do any other opposite reaction. So, reflex action is a very rapid, automatic, you don't know what is happening, automatic and stereotyped behavior. Supposedly someone pricks a pin, or someone, you are cooking something, you are touching something else and you get in contact with something very hot, without knowing you just give a spontaneous response which is highly rapid and highly stereotyped. You know that what is a stereotype, that every time that is going to be a similar response. You don't have a conscious control of brain over it so that you can have a conscious response to it. That is known as a reflex action, and the stimulus over here, it evokes a specific yet short-lived response. The response is very much short-lived. Now, because the brain is not involved, what part of the central nervous system would be involved? This is involving the central nervous system. It does not depend upon the peripheral nervous system or the autonomous one. It depends on the central nervous system itself. The part of CNS which is involved in the reflex action is spinal cord. So, it does not involve conscious control of brain, instead it involves the spinal cord. The stimulus which is used, that brings about a specific stereotyped response, not stereotyped response would be there, and the impulses which would be generated by the stimulus, that would be flowing in one direction only. These are the points that you need to understand. Now, for understanding a reflex action, we have to get introduced to another term associated with it, that is reflex arc. The reflex action, if we study the movement of the impulse, we get an arc that is being formed, not involving the brain but only involving the spinal cord's dorsal root ganglion. You know that the ganglions are present in the central nervous system, and the ganglions which are present, they are nothing but bunch of nerves itself. So, the ganglions would be involved and spinal cord itself would be involved. Spinal cord would not send the signal to the brain. That is why spinal cord is equally important and is part of central nervous system. Now, what is reflex arc? It is basically the reflexes which are generated in the body in response to a stimulus. Whatever sequences are being followed by those reflexes, that thing is known as reflex arc. Now, I have given you an example. Supposedly your body organ, any body organ which brings about a voluntary response, which is in a way involuntary, that body organ is given some sort of stimulus. Say your leg is going to be touched with a hot spoon, supposedly. The stimulus would go and it would initiate the response in the receptor itself. The receptor would be present in the organ. Take the organ to be your thigh muscles. Inside the thigh muscles, there would be receptor neurons. Those neurons would follow the afferent pathway and reach the sensory neuron in the dorsal root ganglion of the spinal cord. So, this part is dorsal root ganglion. Okay. Now, this dorsal root ganglion lies in the white matter of spinal cord. Spinal cord varies from brain in a way that the white matter is outside and grey matter is inside. In terms of brain, the grey matter is outside and white matter is inside. So, this is the grey matter, and this part there where we have dorsal root ganglion, that is white matter of the spinal cord. Now, from the dorsal root ganglion, it goes to the grey matter where we have the site where the signal is perceived. The signal perceived would not be sent to the brain for any sort of processing. Instead, there would be a motor neuron in the grey matter itself which would take up the signal from the efferent pathway to the effector, and a response would be generated. That is, you move your body organ in such a way so that in case the stimulus is bringing about any sort of change, the change that was intended by the stimulus to bring, that comes as a response. The effect comes as a response, and you would move away those particular muscles away from that stimulus which we considered as a hot spoon. Again, I am going to repeat it, that supposedly you take a hot spoon and touch it to your leg. What happens is that you move your leg away from it without knowing whichever direction you're going to throw it, or without knowing, supposedly you move your leg like this and over there is fire, you don't have any control over it because brain is not involved in it, where only spinal cord is involved. How it takes place? The receptor perceives the stimulus, it passes the stimulus, the perception, that is the impulse, through the afferent pathway to the sensory neuron, which is present in the dorsal root ganglion of the spinal cord, from where it goes to the grey matter of spinal cord. From the grey matter of spinal cord, it goes to the motor neuron, where whatever a sensory signal has been perceived, whatever reaction is to be, response is to be generated, that would be perceived in the motor neuron. It would come to the effector organ through the efferent pathway. At the effector organ, there would be a motor end plate, and the movement of the muscle would take place in the form of response. So this is all about reflex arc, how the sequence of reflexes is being followed inside our central nervous system without the involvement of brain. And do remember that these responses are very fast. Had it been involving brain in the response, it would have been little bit slower, but because it takes place with the involvement of spinal cord only, the reflexes are very fast, and these reflexes play an important role for body functions of nervous